Oh, you're a sad one, Mr. Shook. You spent all week crying. You weeped a whole fuck of a lot. You wet sneeze snot in your fucking shirt and video on that. It's on the internet. People can see that. It was really gross. And it was definitely noticeable. It was noticeable for me. I have to dream that the power of camera saved me, but now I've told you, so it didn't. It was fucking horrible. Anyway, hey, hi, ho, and howdy, everyone. My name is Shannon Olshook, and welcome to, sadly, I cannot say again, another episode of Your Lie in April, but I'm going to be talking about Your Lie in April just a little bit. As you can see, it's about a week later. I say about, it is a week later. That's how time works. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to sit down and talk a little bit more. I don't know how valuable this is going to be. How much it's really going to add or anything like that. Probably not much. It's going to be a whole lot of stuff I just repeat. But that's 80% of my videos. And for some reason, maniacs like you still watch. I mean, I am judging you, but I'm also not complaining. Yeah, so obviously if you guys watched, we just recently finished up Your Lie in April here on the channel. And the last episode, the last episode reaction went up on Patreon, I think yesterday as I'm recording this. That is how time works, is we've established time works a certain way, and then I should pay attention to it. Yeah, so that happened. And then, so that'll be coming out in a couple more days, because again, that's how the progression of time works. So yeah, it recently, just has been going up, and, obviously if you watch that, then you know full well, I had a bit of a time with that one. God, I hate crying on YouTube, and the problem is, it's, the 28th is when it should be going up, for everyone else, but, so this will probably have to wait till the 29th or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, it really sucks because like I really hate crying like an utter bitch on the internet. But that's also kind of the market I've decided to corner for some reason because I'm an idiot. So here we are. And that one was rough. Like again, I've had a lot of cries, for lack of a better word, on the channel. There's been a good few of them. God damn if that one wasn't pretty fucking bad. Like, it's really interesting coming off of the previous episode. It was at 20 or whatever. Again, that's how it do. Coming off of episode 20 where I didn't really cry despite a lot of sad and upsetting things happening. I was just legitimately angry and mad. And then immediately starting the next one, and that went away real quick, and I just proceeded to cry for an hour, and then I exploded. I don't know, man. It's interesting because, like, again, I had heard Your Lie in April was a fucking sad one forever, because of course I did. Like, you know, when you talk about anime and you talk about sad anime, there's like 2 or 3 that get mentioned every time. It's Anohana, Your Lie in April, and like Clannad After Story. Like those are the ones. Like you mentioned sad and anime, bitch, I got you. Here they are. Everyone says that. Like it's been there since I first started kind of getting back in anime, you know, so many centuries now. It's weird how long it's actually been, considering. I always be like, it was like 2 years ago. It was like 2 years ago, like 3 years ago. Anyway, but yeah, I knew it was gonna be a thing, obviously. I had prepared myself for that long before I ever started it. Because again, I'd been heard about it forever. Like, yeah, that was not a new thing to me. Goddamn, it really, really snuck up there at the end though, and that's the problem. Is like it's always the end where they get you the most on these fucking things, because like you're in it all this time, and you're getting introduced to the characters and you're falling in love with them because they make them charming and adorable and wonderful and funny and delightful and beautiful and shit like that. And like you get all this time to develop with them, and then they start to pour on the sadness, and then they proceed to tie you to a sofa and throw you off a cliff. It's a long way of saying it was really sad. Like I said, there's gonna be a lot of repetitive information in this. Yeah, I was not prepared for that one. I wasn't prepared for a lot of things with Your Lie. Because like again, we started off, and I always kind of had a feeling like obviously I was gonna like the show going in. There's a reason I decided to want to sit down and watch it in the first place, because like, hey, this looks like it'll appeal to me. It's a show about music. It is beautiful. From what I understood at the time, there was potentially some romancy shit. And so like that's all my jam, man. Give it to me. Put it in my mouth yesterday. And then I got into it, and it was a lot more than that. Like obviously it had all those things. But it really, really surprised me with how fucking charming and fun it was. Because I totally didn't expect that. Like, again, someone had warned me a little before, like, once we had gotten into it, like, don't freak out too much. Like, it's not just gonna be pure sad all the goddamn time from beginning to end. Like, it'll take a minute to get there. And I was like, I don't fucking believe you, because I'm an idiot. Because, like, I know how writing works. I am one. A writing? Nailed it. I'm a writer on my own time, and I am a huge fan of writing, and I pay close attention to how people do shit. Like it's not lost on me that you make people fall in love with your characters before you give them an incurable disease and ruin their fucking life. I say before, that was there from the beginning, but we didn't know at the time. There's a lot of we didn't know at the time. Can we talk about how much it hurt when we realized what the lie was? Because that sucked. Because like I get it, Kaori, but you broke my heart a little bit, because there's a small part of me that, number one, knows like, hey, maybe none of this happens if that lie was not started. I like homeboy, but secretly nah, though. I mean, he's cool, but friend zoned immediately. Like, you know, maybe none of that happens, but there's also a small part of me that's like, hey, maybe it could have been happier on the way out. At the very least, there could have been more time for y'all to get along a little bit more if you weren't lying at the time. Like, I get it, but fuck, it made me sad. Okay, like, there's so much stuff I want to talk about, but I can't say anything of value. Point is, the show really surprised me with how fun it was actually. Like, again, it's a funny, charming, delightful time early on. Obviously, there's some sad shit in there here and there. Again, the first half of the show still is dealing with, Kousei dealing with his parental shit. And fuck. Like, that ain't nothing. Which, again, like I talked about how, the show obviously had a lot of things that appeals to me. And well, I don't know if appeals to me is necessarily the right word for, douchebag, child abusing assholes. Again, it's slightly more complicated than that, but also, again, still in the end, Mom was kind of a fucking douchebag. whether she intended to be or not, did totally fuck that kid up for a very long time. Anyway, again, while that doesn't necessarily appeal to me, isn't how I would put that. Obviously, it is relatable. That was one thing that I kind of took away a bit after I was thinking about things more and more after I'd finished. But, you know, like, it's a beautiful show, it's a funny show, but, you know, there's some depressingly relatable shit in there. I assume, I don't think it's necessarily, you know, that stuff like death isn't gonna obviously connect with people just in general. I am not the only one in the world who is not a fan of the concept. But like, you know, they're both Kousei's story and Kaori both really resonate with me a lot. And again, I don't think I'm the only one who has that, but, you know, both on like an artistic sense, because despite the fact I have nothing to show for it, I really, really like artistic things, and I love media and the production of it. I love the creation of art. I clearly love it. It's why I'm fucking here. It's why I will whine and bitch and moan and complain when people talk shit about it. Like, it's something that clearly does matter to me. So like that's something that hits me on that front. Again, it's the reason I liked it from the start with music. I love music. I can't do music for shit. I can't play guitar for worth a fuck. Like, you want me to play 4.5 chords? I can do that for you. Poorly. Really would love to get back into guitar again someday, because it's a fun one. But like, and I can't sing. I love to sing. I cannot do it, but I cannot do it. Like, I love music. I love what it can do for us, how it can convey emotion and stories, and, you know, like what it can really do, which obviously is a big part of the show. So like, obviously I get hit from the series on that side of things, but then also I get hit from Kaori's side of, by the way, dying. Like, I've again, it's not a purely me thing. Obviously, this is nothing new. But I've talked about it a lot of times before. Death really fucks with me. Which sucks, because it's in fucking everything. It's in every goddamn story ever told, because it's such a thing. It's real. It fucks with everyone all of the time. And when it's 2020, it doesn't get better. It's not better this year. But like, you know, it is something that, it is my biggest fear. It is something that fucking ruins me. Like, and it's always a weird thing for me, is there was a point in time where that wasn't the case. Like, I either flat out didn't want to, earlier in life sucked, but like, I either flat out would have been okay or preferred taking myself out of the equation, if you will, for lack of a better fucking term, or just didn't give a shit, had that real, like, hey, live fast, die young, do whatever the fuck mentality. Like, either way, both, the point being, both very, very different from where I am now, which is I have a just fucking crippling fear. And the problem is I like life too much. It's kind of nice. You know, it's not perfect. It's a fucking nightmare. But it's also beautiful, and there's amazing people in it, and I get to share it with amazing people, and I get to do crazy fucking cool things. And like, I ain't rich, I ain't famous, I ain't anything like that, but like I get to do cool shit and I want to keep doing that. I like thinking. That's something that scares me the most, is not being able to do that, being able to come up with stories, to be able to think about people I love, people I hate, things I love. Like think about how coffee used to be a thing that I like and now how I don't give a shit. Like it's the smallest things like that is something that's so important to me. And the idea of go fuck yourself, phone, please activate when I say so, damn you. Like swipe to do this, swipe to do the okay. Anyway, my point is like that is something that I kind of like, and I don't think I'm the only one, but like that's pretty fucking important to me. And you know, death kind of fucks that up a bit. So that fucks me up a lot. So, you know, obviously that it's always going to affect me. And again, it's not just a me thing, but it's always going to really fuck me up whenever the concept of death, you know, comes in, especially when it's a particularly looming presence. And well, it's not easy. It is easier in, say, a story that's like, hey, it's a story about fighting, or it's something like that, like where you're putting your life on the line to do a thing or something like that. Like it's different. Like, yeah, I can obviously make comparisons, but like, that sort of thing obviously still fucks with me, but it doesn't fuck with me the same way. It doesn't fuck with me the same way as something that is just purely unfair. Something that is real. Something that isn't going off to war or, you know, fighting demons or witches or whatever the fuck. Like obviously that can still be affecting, but there's something completely different about something so tangible as just, hey, you just gotta run a bad luck. And now that's it. And fuck, that sucks. And, you know, that's where Kaori was. You know, just want to live her fucking life. And then one day, nope. And then the entire rest of her time is just, well, you're on the clock now. What are you going to do with it? And I talked a ton about how I appreciated Kaori's, you know, kind of view on the world, her take on it, that, you know, live every day, for lack of a better word, live every day like it's your last. At the time, obviously, I obviously had the impression she wasn't gonna come out of it in the end, but also I didn't realize, no, this is 100% something she's had since the beginning. Like, she knew before the story even started that this was gonna be it. It's why she, you know, she did everything. That's why she lied. It's why she fucking changed her hair and her contact. Which, can I say, again, I don't know if I fucking said it in the last one. Can we talk about how goddamn disappointing and depressing and fucked it is that we got all of 17 and a half seconds? That's pushing it, actually, now that I say that. It was like 12. Like, we got like 12 seconds of Homegirl in her glasses and her fucking hair with the do, because she was goddamn adorable. It was really fucking cute. Like, don't get me wrong, she's beautiful. Clearly. Chef's kiss and all of that shit. She's wonderful. But also, I'm a sucker for glasses, and fucking hair was cute, and she's adorable, and damn you, show. Ass. Okay. Point is, like, she knew from the beginning that was what was going to be happening, and that was why she was there. I don't know if I mean, I know for a fact I never really vocalized it, but I don't know how much I necessarily thought that was going to be the case. Because again, like, I knew that she was probably going to go, They pulled a little bit of a dick move right at the end where they were like, hey, maybe there's a chance. Nope. Fuck. But like, I don't know if I ever really had considered that, well, that's the way this has been the whole time, and that's why she has that take. Not just because, I guess maybe a little bit, but not enough to say anything concrete. Because there probably is a little bit, because there's probably little bits and pieces of me making nods to that idea, like especially in the earlier episodes for whatever reason. Though again, probably would have been more me thinking that post, shit actually starting to come out and start happening rather than from the beginning. Anyway, not a super big deal, but I like talking about where my head's at, or was at weeks ago. Yeah, man. Kaori fucked me up. One thing I do kind of want to say as a positive, and it doesn't sound right to say, not because like it's something that's inherently wrong or anything, it's completely the opposite, but it sounds wrong to say because I don't know if I fucking actually believe it, despite the fact I say it and sometimes feel it a little. That makes no sense, but it makes sense. Like, when I said that the show's relatable and it resonated with me, and her story, because that's what we're talking about at the moment, resonated the way it did, not only obviously was I affected by it, and I'll go on to talk for hours about how much I adore Kaori. That'll be coming, certainly. But not only did it just affect me in that kind of sad, depressing, negative way, but I do honestly believe, and it's weird because I don't always, you'll sometimes hear people talk about how they got a new perspective from something that they watched and stuff like that. And obviously, it's not like that's never happened to me. Shit I've watched is completely fucked with me. Well, let's not even fucking try and talk about her. She ruined me. But like, I always hate how her head's just slightly fucked at the top because like camera's shit. Anyway, it's not like I've never taken away anything from something else. There's definitely a series out there that I've taken stuff from, but I feel like this is arguably one of the biggest ones, because again, death terrifies me beyond fucking comprehension. Like, it governs every goddamn thing I do. The entire fucking reason I have completely tried to flip my fucking health around at the moment is because I'm fucking terrified. I am legitimately terrified right now that I'm already completely fucked because I made choices that I can't escape anymore. Like, there is a not insignificant part of me that has spent the past like multiple months going like, I might have diabetes or something, and like that really fucking sucks. And I don't know if that's true or if it's just my brain freaking the fuck out or reading signals in my body wrong. I don't know. I can't go fucking check because I ain't got no goddamn money. It's America. Fuck. And also, it's the worst year to do anything ever, period. Like, I fear it a lot, and it fucks up everything about me. That being said, and I don't know how long it really lasts, or, if my brain eventually completely overwrites it and it doesn't fucking matter anymore. But I will say, and it's weird because it's not a unique fucking thing to this show. It's not the first time I've heard it or anything like that. And hell, it's even a part of it is relevant to that whole like live fast, die young bullshit that I was saying a second ago. But the reason I find people like Kaori so goddamn wonderful and beautiful and you know, inspiring is because I have that fear. And it's not like she fucking didn't. She clearly was fucking terrified, especially at some bits towards the end. You know, there's a reason she kind of started to shut herself off a bit, and she was kind of giving up in a lot of areas. And then Homeboy ended up kind of shaking her out of it a little bit. Not enough to obviously fix the situation. No amount of shaking was going to be able to fix that. But, you know, like, she clearly was affected by it. But, you know, again, that mindset of trying to make the absolute most of your life while you got it is something I find incredibly fucking beautiful and wonderful. And it's something that really, really appeals to me. And I wish I could just automatically shut that sad, dark part of my brain off that's like, that wakes up every day and goes, fuck. Or that tries to lay down and go to sleep every night and goes, what if I don't wake up? Or why is my heart beating as fast as it is? Why does my leg feel like that? Why this? Why that? Am I going to be okay? Like, that's the thing that I deal with every single goddamn night. And I really wish I could turn that off, but I obviously fucking can't. And again, it's not like she doesn't have that sort of shit, but her having that mindset where she could finally, like, hey, I probably got about a year. Let's fucking do this. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I need to. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna pursue this thing that obviously really matters to me. You know that boy who completely changed my fucking life when I was younger? Cool. Let's go find that man's. I know where he is. I seen him walking down the hall while it looked all cute and shit. But also sad. It was the sadness wasn't great. But like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna throw away my glasses like an animal. Damn it, Kaori. They were very cute. Anyway, point is, like, she took control there at the end. And again, not like she didn't feel it, but she was able to make so much more of it than she could have. And again, that's incredibly fucking inspiring and wonderful and beautiful to me. And I want to be able to do that with myself more and more. I like to think I'm starting to do that more and more, like taking care of myself better, trying to continue working on stuff like this, and, you know, just in general, trying to do a little bit more. I can't do a ton more because, again, time is what it is, and my situation in life is where it is, and fuck. But, like, I can take small steps, and that is a little bit of something I think I like to think I kind of helped to... What the fuck am I trying to say? I took away a little bit from her. Obviously, I had been making steps toward that already, but, you know, getting more of that from her right at the end, I really, really appreciate that, and it helps to solidify my intention, I guess. I don't know if any of that made any sense. Can we tell this video's fucking wonk? Point is, that is one thing, and the other thing is, again, it's nothing necessarily new to this, but trying to face that fear, to face dying, again, is incredibly fucking hard for me. And that's not new. Again, I get that. Everyone's fucking scared. But, like, it's so unbelievably crippling. Every time it's the same thing that hits me every time is I can say the words and shit like that, but the instant my brain hits to, you can't think, and then I just shut down. And it's a really fucking difficult thing, and I hate it. But one small thing I do think I got from this, I don't know why I got it from this, but not other things again, but the tiniest bit more strength in facing that, in looking at the small positives that you can, in looking at the beauty in it, in looking into the people who will remember you and who you were can live on in ways. And, you know, and again, these aren't new concepts, but I don't know. I guess I just, they never really hit with me until this. And it's just different. It's different, and I don't know why it was this one. I don't know if it's just I like her as much as I do, or I like the show as much as I do, or they just happen to say it just the right way. But it did. It really affected me, and I can't say it changed me completely or anything like that, because it fucking didn't. I don't know if anything ever is going to. At least not without an immense amount of, like, medication. But, like, I do think it gave me a small bit of solace and peace, because there's been a couple times over this week, because, again, it's a fucking everyday thing for me. But, like, there's been a couple days this week where I'll start to fall into that, and then I will start to think about Kaori, and I'll start to think about her story and how it ended, and I'll think about her letter. Fuck that thing, by the way. We'll get to that in a second. But, like, I think about, you know, her living on kind of in Kousei in ways, and through music, and, you know, through everyone's memories of her, through the things that they did do together while they were there. And it gets a little easier, just a little bit, just enough to make me breathe a little bit lighter. And I can't thank the show enough for that. Because when you're like me, you need a lot of that. Every time you can get a chance to get more of that in your life instead of the other thing, yeah, I'm gonna take it because I need it. So yeah, I can't thank enough for that, and I can't appreciate the show enough for that. I can't appreciate Kaori enough for that. That fucking letter, man. Goddamn Kaori. Like, I went into this show, and I figured, hey, I'm gonna enjoy everyone in it. It's gonna be fine. I like characters. These are characters, and they're cool ones at that. I'm fucking in. Don't worry about it. I'm all like her. It's gonna be great. But let me tell you about a girl named Tsubaki. And then it took, what, like 3, 4, 5 episodes, somewhere in there, to just ruin me. And it's some utter bullshit. Because, like, then it really set in that, oh, I kind of love her. And then it came a few episodes later, and like, oh, I kind of really love her. And then it went further, and it was like, oh, she's kind of legitimately beyond amazing. And kind of an asshole sometimes, but in that really fun, cute way. Like, she's just sour sometimes. It was adorable. But, like, and you go a little bit farther, and someone who was really not on my radar went to. I can't, like, I have to say this with reservation, because you know, recency bias is a thing, and it's something that affects me all the time. So, like, it's something that could clearly be a problem. But, like, Kaori became, like, my second favorite character of all time. Like, I completely fell in love with her. And also, I kind of... No, it's back? Okay. I hate that. It's the worst. Like, I fucking sneeze, and then it's gone. Where did it go? Where? Who stole my sneeze? What the fuck? Point is, I'm sorry. weird tangent, but my body is like, I'm gonna do one thing, psych bitch, and then I look like a dipshit. Who Stole My Sneeze, by the way, it was my high school band's name. Anyway, point is, goddamn Kaori grew on me. Like, again, I say she maybe, as of right now, she is absolutely my second favorite character of all time. Like, I completely fell in love with her. Obviously, she's just adorable and cute and beautiful and wonderful. She's a fucking musician. I love goddamn musicians. She's incredibly talented. She's incredibly driven. She is a fucking, just goddamn treasure, a delight every time she's on screen. She's a goddamn charm factory. And, again, she has a story that really, really fucking resonates with me. So I was fucked from the start. The game was rigged from the start. Bang, the courier's gone. Like, I didn't stand a chance. Didn't stand a goddamn chance. And I know I've repeated myself a lot talking about how much I like her, because that's what I do. I don't know if you've ever watched anything I've ever made, but that's what I do. Like, oh, I like this character. I will tell you that 714 times this minute. Like, it's just what I do. Like, again, I am astonished I didn't talk about Aerith more in the goddamn Final Fantasy VII thing. I still talked a lot, but I'm astonished it wasn't more. It's the kind of person I am, obviously. And especially when someone hits me as hard as they do. Like, if I can talk for 40 goddamn minutes about Chica from goddamn Kaguya-sama, I can go for about 7 years about Kaori. And Meech, a lifetime. Whole, just centuries, my boy. Anyway. Yeah. Like, I want to say it again. And again and again. But I literally couldn't add anything more this time. She was an adorable munchkin. Does that count? I just want to be like, and just pat her little head. She runs off and goes like, "Give me a violin, bitch." I don't believe she said that. I cannot be sure. I cannot prove that she didn't call her mom a bitch. Anyway, point is, I like Kaori a lot. I completely fucking fell in love with that character. And she will be one that will stick with me for fucking forever. Not just because she's a goddamn treasure on her own, but because, again, she kind of affected me kind of personally. And again, if the past week is anything to show, she might be sticking around a lot to help me kind of breathe every once in a while. It's weird how some characters can affect you like that. Again, Michiru is much the same way. As like, if I really need to get into, it's also problematic because she can also completely fuck my emotional state up as well, and not just in like the oh haha Shannon's been ruined, like the jokey way, like in the like, oh well, now I'm thinking about this and this, and now I'm ruined for real, and I don't want to stand. Such is life. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to Kaori for a very long time, I do think. And I cannot imagine going through the rest of life without her. As a fictional character, you know what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, like, I liked her a lot throughout, but literally, like, just that last episode or two alone was fucking enough to, like, have done it. Like, it's, just the scene of those two on the roof, and she's fucking playing the ghost violin because she's a witch. But like, that obviously is a thing, but also, yeah, despite the fact that she's like visually on screen for maybe a minute, in like the last episode. Fuck. Like, between Kousei and her kind of having their spiritual duet, if you will, for lack of a better word, him coming to grips with her situation. Again, I've talked a lot throughout the show about how I appreciated the performance scenes and kind of how they conveyed things, and I don't think I gave that last one anywhere near enough credit until she actually fades away in that moment. Did it really set in how important that performance is and what it means and how much of his self is shown off in that. Like, again, the whole show talks about conveying their emotions and their state and stuff like that throughout it. And obviously, there's been some that definitely really showed it off more than others for me, I think. But that one, I didn't catch it as much in the beginning. But as soon as it was over, don't know what you got till it's gone sort of thing, I guess. But about as soon as it was really over, it really did hit just how much of him is in that moment. How much of her is in that moment, despite the fact she's not fucking there. She's fucking out like a light or gone completely at that point. I don't know. Either way, this fucking show sucks. Anyway, point is, like, just between that moment, again, that part where she doesn't speak at all, it's purely, you know, her in his head playing music, which is just pure, beautiful, fucked up visual storytelling, and then on to a dialogue boy's wet dream of sadness. It's not that kind of, it's tears. The wetness is tears. It can maybe be both, but we don't want to talk about that too much. Can we talk about how there's a severe lack of good art? We're not going to talk about this. It's questionable and wrong. And I'm right. Anyway. I'm sorry. I need to laugh every once in a while. I am just really glad I didn't cry anyway through all of this. It's been a difficult week. It did not help that I listened to Orange about 7,014 times on repeat. I like that song. Fuck that song. Anyway. Point being, and then you had a dialogue fans whole part, which is the letter, which is awful and wonderful and probably my favorite part of the show. Obviously there are some definite, a few different favorites, but it's very possible just the letter itself is, it's really, really, really fucking good. And again, like, the reason I bring it up is because, like, you know, I knew I liked Kaori either way. I've talked about it for a while. Like, no matter what, Kaori's going to end up in, like, the top 10 by the end of it. No matter, like, if she literally had done nothing by the time I last said that, she still would have done it. But, like, that last episode alone, just her completely throwing everything out there on the table was enough to be like, yeah, no, that scene alone does it. That scene alone takes you to number 2. And closer to Mitru than you'd think, considering my terrible, terrible addiction. Anyway, point is, I like her. I do apologize, because again, I talked about, like, this is just kind of what I do. It's what I talk about. It's my priorities. I'm a fucking schmuck. But also, I like ladies. And I like characters. Let me have this. Fuck off. But I do feel bad that sometimes, especially towards the end, I didn't give enough credit to the other characters, especially Kousei. Because I really, 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 really liked Kousei. I originally wanted to talk about his little section of things before I got into the fucking Kaori fest. but she stole my heart again. Yeah, like I really, really, really adored his story because again, that was super resonant with me as well. I don't know how many people have been paying attention this year, but I've talked long before this year. I've talked about how I have some fucking family issues, and then this year happened. I was like, huh, family in quotes, I guess, because that's fuck, mom shit and family stuff in general can be really, really problematic for me. So Kousei's story really, really, really fucked me up. And then you added the Kaori repeat of everything in his fucking life happening on top of it. That didn't goddamn help. But yeah, it obviously hit some nerves and some tender notes with me. And, yeah. It's difficult, man. It's really difficult watching that stuff when a significant amount of your life kind of feels like looking in a mirror sometimes, and that really sucks. But it, like, again, you can feel it, and I talk about how all this shit sucks, but obviously I do appreciate. I don't know if you know this. I really, really like this show, despite the amount of times it said it can fuck itself. Like, again, I talked, much like Kaori, I talked about how it was going to be one of my favorites. It might be my favorite. I don't know, because I keep getting shown new, good, amazing shows, and I'm like, but I don't want to fucking kick Sakura So down again. I don't want to kick Steins Gate. I don't want to kick fucking Darling in the Franxx. I don't want goddamn... stop it. But then there just keeps being good shows. And it's like, they're all tied for number one, but also recency bias is a bitch. So, point is, I really, 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 really like this show. It is a dick, though. And that's the thing is, like, I really, really like emotional stuff, despite the fact that it really, really fucks with me. And I hate what it does to me on camera. Who's the dipshit that thought that it was a good idea for me to record myself watching shit when I don't like people watching me sad? Was this dipshit? Anyway. The point I want to say is I am sorry that I don't always give Kousei enough credit, because legitimately I really, really, really appreciate and adore him and his story. And yeah, so I really do that, but my brain auto-corrects to fucking more important topics, I guess. Which is just saying I like Kaori over and over again. I don't know if you know this, but I like her a lot. Yeah, and then there was Tsubaki. I feel so bad about Tsubaki all this time, because I really fucking... And not because she's bad at all, even a little bit. Even kind of. It's just, homegirl fucking just... She pulled the wool over my eyes. I could see no longer. I was lost in the darkness. And it was a very bright, beautiful, colorful darkness, but like... I do feel bad, because Tsubaki was a lot of fun. She really was, and it always sounds weird when I say this about fictional characters. I wish them well. I do. There is no more well for me to wish, because the story ends at that point. But like in my dreams, it can continue on. Man, let me have this. Fuck, it is a thing, man. Anyway, I'm trying to think of other stuff I really would like to talk about. I also feel bad I didn't give, again, I talked about this earlier, but I didn't give Nagi quite enough attention or credit at the time. Again, gave Akiano some love because she's amazing and one of, if not my favorite. So that's always great. But yeah, I definitely did feel like I left her out a little bit more than I probably should have in things that I was talking about. Because she was really cool. I liked her, story as well, and her situation with her brother and everything. Emmy was fun. Takashi was cool. Watari was again really cool. He was obviously the farthest back of the group, really. He was the basis of our lie, and he played sports, and he was just kind of cool. And that was about it, but it was enough. He's still cool. I think I've finally kind of exhausted what I can say here, even with all the repetition. I don't know if you know this, but I like Kaori. Yeah, man. I fell in love with this. I really did. And again, I knew I was going to love it. Y'all knew I was going to love it. But more than I thought I was going to, even. Most certainly more than I thought I was going to for her. And, yeah, not only just really enjoyed it, but feel like I might have taken some stuff away from it. And that means a lot to me, especially since the things I might have taken from it kind of important for someone like myself. I've been really scared to look into it too much more. I've gone so far as to enter in YouTube the words "Your Lie in April" reactions and stuff, and I haven't really looked too much further than that. I saw a couple of people. Fucking Flame Shark do Your Lie reactions? I gotta look into that. I like that man. He's all right. Anyone ever got other recommendations? Throw them my way. Yeah, that I've again been listening to the OST on repeat like a fucking maniac. Been getting lots of pretty Kaori pictures because they're wonderful and they're very, very pretty and they fuck my heart up. And I just pictures of her smiling goes a long way. While I'm disappointed in the amount of certain kinds of art because I'm a terrible human being, I do appreciate. I do appreciate the tender, wholesome goodness and sadness. Fuck the sadness, but it's good. But damn it. Yeah, there was all that. I actually want to see about getting a couple bits of merch. I want to buy the goddamn DVD, but it's one of those ones where it's like, oh, you want it? $7,000, by the way. No, but it is like the cheapest, most realistic fucking version that I can find that would play on anything that I fucking own. Is like $300 goddamn dollars in 2 parts. Not 300 for both, but like 3 together. God damn it. Just let me give you money without you being insane. Anyway, it's weird, man. So that's the thing. But yeah, I do want to get some stuff. I kind of want to, not because I want to get rid of fucking Nep and crew because I love them so goddamn much. But I'd see like a Your Lie in April scroll or two that I might want to put up in the back just because I'd like to have that. I want Kaori on my wall somewhere. I want it. Any way you want it, that's the way in it. Yeah, I think I've officially run out of steam on this one. But I appreciate you guys, anyone who took a minute to just listen to me on this one. Again, very rarely is there ever going to be anything of actual value in these. But I just like to talk, and I like to talk about things that I really, really like. And I really, really like this one. Clearly. I'd like to get around to getting a rewatch in here soon. I should probably do the rest of it in dub again. Because again, I went through up to like episode 8, and I was really, really enjoying it. I liked everyone who was in it. Again, I don't know if I probably prefer the sub, but I did like the dub a lot. It's one of those ones I feel like I could potentially probably go kind of half and half with, which isn't always the case. Sometimes it's just you get stuck with one or the other. Which reminds me, Steins Gate Zero's coming up, and I gotta put fucking Shermile and fucking Trina and the band's J. Michael Tatum all up in my ears. Actually, speaking about that, I'm probably gonna wait until I finish up recording Nichijou at least. I don't know if necessarily releasing it all the way, but least wait till I have recorded all of Nichijou. I think before I want to actually sit down and start recording one of the other 3 new shows. That being said, I still have to figure out which one I want to do. Though that's kind of the reason I want to do Nichijou with it. Nichijou after what the fuck? Why I want to do it after I finish up Nichijou real quick, so that I can be like, I can jump on 2 instead of just 1. So I just have to decide which one I'm gonna wait a second on. Which one is gonna have to probably wait till Madoka. That's going to be a thing still. I have to record that at some point this week because I keep screwing everyone over because this fucking happened and I'm scared. Anyway. But yeah, so I still have to decide what I'm going to do with those. Again, it's going to we know which 3 are coming. It's Steins Gate 0, Psychono Season 2, and Bloom Into You. I just need to decide which ones I'm gonna do. It's honestly probably, well, I don't want to put Bloom off again because I want to watch Bloom. I don't know if I've said this enough, but I've wanted to watch that since I fucking heard it existed, and I have proceeded to not do that for fucking forever, and I hate it. I just want to watch the goddamn show. Anyway, point is, I probably will do that since these other 2 are going to be returning shows, so it might not be a bad idea to hop on those since they're coming back, and instead of being something brand new, and then I can wait till Madoka wraps, and then I can jump on that. I think maybe, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Who to fuck knows? Not this lad. I tell you what. But yeah. So that's coming here soon. Still trying to iron out what I want to do for the specials. There's one thing I want to do. Hopefully I didn't fuck myself at some point. And I can still physically make the video. We'll have to wait and see. But it would be but if I do make it, one of these specials will be very, very relevant to this. To this series. And to a few others of note. Because I think it would be funny to make this list. Anyway, point is, yeah, so that's something I would like to get to, hopefully. And I still got to figure out what I'm going to do movie-wise. Because, again, I got quite a few different options. I just got to figure out what to do and how to do it. And where I'm at. And who... You daddy. What? This is my first video I've recorded this week, so I'm off. We'll have to see how it goes from this point on. Do I have anything else I really want to talk about? I guess not really. I just want to say thank you guys for being so goddamn wonderful and joining me on this series. Again, I loved it. Clearly, I goddamn loved it. And I want to watch it again, and I want to goddamn talk about it more, despite the fact I have nothing more to actually say. And I just want to see my girl again. Fuck. So anyway, that's where I'm gonna leave it here. I don't know. I'm probably gonna go record some Nichijou and maybe a Madoka here before the night's through, and then try and play more than the first 20 minutes of Persona 5R. So because I was like, I'll sit down and play this, and then I realized it was like 11:30, and I needed to start recording at like 12. So I was like, oh shit. Forgot this has got a long opening, don't it? Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to sit down and play more of that here soon. So enjoy that. Anyway, that's it. I will leave you guys the fuck alone. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for sticking with me and being beautiful and awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time for whatever it happens to be. Whatever we're doing. Whether you're watching Nichijou or Madoka, or I can fucking get another episode of goddamn Kaguya out. Or fucking... Oh! The goddamn Ruby soundtrack comes out on the 31st. So that's coming soon. Like a week. And then hopefully it doesn't take super long for people to do like lyric videos. Because if they do that, I would like to go that route too. Because I like the words so we can follow along better and tell the stories of these characters. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and end it here, though, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, give it some love. And I will see you guys next time for whatever we happen to do next, or whatever you happen to be watching out of what's going on. So, thank you for joining me. Again, this was an experience I wouldn't trade for much anything, and I'm so glad I got to share it with you guys. Again, I've talked about plenty of times so many shows that have either affected me or just I fell in love with, that I didn't get to share with people the first time, which is again why I want to do that commentary thing here eventually. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I'm really glad this wasn't one of those. This was one I got to share with you. Even if I again really hated very aggressively crying in that last episode. Like, again, soon as those credits hit, it was just fucking everything in my body wanted to scream, which I don't know how much that shows up on camera, but I could feel it in like my fucking face and all of my limbs and everything just going scream, and then I wouldn't. And it's like vomiting. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that, but sadness. Which is also why you hear a stomp noise, because I proceed to kick the ever-loving fuck out of something, because I was like, I can't scream. It's the middle of the night. But I would drop kick someone. Anyway. Thank you. I love you. Take care. And I'll see you guys next time. Stay strong, stay safe, stay beautiful, stay wonderful. And love Kaori, everyone. Don't ever forget her now. Bye, guys.